here. What do you feel? How?
I'll take all of 3 minutes and please raise your hand and I'll just sit down, okay? Because in media we tend to either cover a lot or not cover it at all. I think this is one of the most ambitious sessions I've attended in the last few years. Trying to do a lot in 1.5 hours. I think I congratulate the host and the organizers. It is ambitious and maybe that's the need of the time. My first observation is that there has been this debate about tolerance and intolerance. It depends on whom you listen to, you'll get their viewpoint. For peace and society, I think every religion and every walk of life, people want peace, want personal security. And in our schools, our colleges, we've been taught in the classical style that tolerance is part of your value system. I don't think in any society I've come across where the belief and value is that you should not be tolerant. So being tolerant has been a guiding philosophy of several values belief systems. I don't think India is any exception, nor our Indian faith or community. First observation, before I jump into thoughts and feelings. The second thing that I strongly believe and would urge as one of the takeouts is there a role that business can play in this context? By moving all our beliefs and values in an emphatic way from I tolerate our differences in life. So there are differences between you and me, between societies, between communities, between geographical reasons. Can we, in a very articulate and possibly later an institutional way, move away from tolerating each other's differences to celebrating our differences? That's the first observation I'd like to make. One is to tolerate our differences. Second is, can we institutionalize, encourage and ignite minds that we from our grade 1 in school to industry say, let's find an opportunity every week, every month, every year to ignite minds on how we celebrate our differences. I think this is something that I would leave because I need to rush for other meetings. It was one thought I'd leave, that is celebrating differences, then tolerating differences. If you look at the 19th century, the 20th century, and the 21st century, I think this is going to make a big difference. So that's the point.
What do you do in your entity?
Now, what do we do in our entity? Now, when I say my entity, I'm from heavy industry. I came into media 19 years ago. I come from the classical Indian industrial houses. I worked for several years. Been working for the last 45 years. I would say that corporate social responsibility is a great initiative that the government have taken. This could be possibly one of the vehicles which is still in its infancy, whether we can take this vehicle to address certain issues and challenges that you have listed. The corporate social responsibility. There were philanthropists, industrialists. There were philanthropists who are industrialists. There are industrialists who have been philanthropists.
How concrete are you doing this in your entity?
In our organization, if you look at media generally, media by and large captures, debates, projects what they see around them. Some media channels have an opinion, some don't. Some report news, some debate issues. But there's one thing good about the media channels, sometimes goes unnoticed, particularly in the last 7 to 9 years, is that we have a subject called the Amazing Indian. Now this Amazing Indian could be from Ladakh in India, it could be from south of India, east of India, west of India, and there we empower, articulate, and propagate what one individual can do to society. Possibly this could be one of the vehicles, where the unity in diversity can be formally or informally articulated and internalized, but one needs to explore that.
This is great new idea.
That is a possibility.
Sorry, but you know that we are taking minutes, and now this
Okay.
what you told now, here
Okay.
is already written.
In my personal
It's
capacity.
like to do list for you.
That's-
Like to do list for you.
That's the second observation. But there is something that's going grossly unnoticed. I'm almost 67. I am a digital immigrant. In my college, I used the slide rule. I never used a calculator or a computer. The workforce that we are facing in urban India are digital natives. So how relevant is it for unity in diversity? If you look at the Arab Spring, it started with a text message going out of Tunisia, and then you had the Arab Spring. So we are dealing with a generation of digital natives across the world. So if you're looking at an issue from media on conflict, or you're looking at peace, one text message or one video clipping could disturb the apple cart. So we need to take cognizance of the fact that while we have a 20-25-year goal to do a lot in university, in unity and diversity, one weapon that can be an asset or a liability is social media under the umbrella of digital media. I think that's one area we should be sensitive to.
Thank you. Now let's say that the new idea is how you, because today in the afternoon we are going to organize our steering committees. These are people who voluntarily will help us. And it's very important, like in the real business, to have different roles. And these roles will be taken by people who have the ability, the knowledge, and the experience to do this. And we have our own media, public relations. Maybe personally you will be not able to do this, but we have already your platform, which will maybe, I thank you by word, which will support us in India. Thank you. Mira, would you please express your feelings and thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts and feelings. I personally feel that unity in diversity is in Indian ethos. But of late, though we talk about it, you don't see it in reality because many vested interests have tried to create differences between castes, communities, religions, and though I personally feel that our ethos is of unity and diversity, but in reality we have gone far away from it. So I feel it's a very big issue and I would like to flag it. As a police officer, our response has been to create Mohalla committees. Many of you would be aware, you must have heard of it. So, as a law enforcer, we try to not only prevent clashes, tension, stress between various castes, communities, and uphold the flag for unity and diversity, but we have created this very effective tool to reach communities, castes, and propagate the idea of unity. I would like to specifically, since I am in Mumbai, talk of the Mohalla committees which were initiated after 1993 riots by Ribeiro sir and is being taken forward by Sahni sir. So that has been our response in Mumbai and all over the state. All police stations have these Mohalla committees. Somewhere they are known as peace committees, but mostly Mohalla committees where people from different castes, communities, economic strata, they come, they interact, and police tries to take their help for handling the tension if ever seen. New ideas.
Which you already really do in your
Yeah.
in your work.
Yeah. and it's proved to be very effective tool. The new ideas and possibilities I was thinking was, before coming I was talking to our training directorate. They have specialized capsule courses both during the basic training of police officers as well as in-service training, where they are taught about how they put it is about communal harmony or caste harmony instead of using the word unity in diversity. But my new idea possibility would be that our training academy in Nasik and Center for Police Research in Pune, they can have centers exclusively dedicated to unity in diversity.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. This is, thank you very much. And this is exactly how the feelings, the thoughts, the fact that you came here, you listened to us, will start to interact your work. Thank you. Sorry, Ratan. I'm sorry. Ratan, you're coming from the banking world. Okay, now we're going to listen about money, risk. But actually, I'm coming from the banking world, and I can tell you that therefore this gives me the power to tell you that bankers are not how they seem to be. They are actually real people with big hearts, with the same thoughts which we all have, and they are here to help us. Thank you.
Yeah, I think very good morning to all of you. I'm delighted to be part of this wonderful gathering. I think a couple of quick words, and that's about TSCFM. I think I've been associated with the institute for good 5 odd years, and I think the whole fact that you have organized such a gathering to promote unity and diversity itself talks great about this institute itself, and thanks to you for doing that. I think Dave spoke very eloquently about few of the pillars of partnership. I think that kind of echoes through what we do in banking. So he spoke about are the values aligned. He spoke about leveraging together. He spoke about how to really create opportunities to both grow together and not sink. He spoke about what are the learnings that you have for any partnership or project, so that you actually, even though the project may not have been successful in the end, but you learn, and that itself is a success. And of course he spoke about return on investment. So in banking, and I'm specifically not talking about my bank per se, but I'm talking about banking as an industry, I think we've got an extremely good regulator, and Reserve Bank of India has been doing a phenomenal job of really creating and supporting the entire ecosystem and the entire country in that sense. So one of the things that we do is called financial literacy. Financial literacy. So how to really promote this whole financial literacy across the length and breadth of the country. And India is a very complex country with a huge landscape, different caste, culture, creed, etc. So how to really, and we call it as how to really combine the India with the Bharat. And Bharat, as we call it, as a rural part of India, through this financial literacy. And that is done in several modes. One, of course, is you actually do set up your branches across various parts of the country. So the regulation today is that if you got to put up one branch in urban part of India, you got to put one branch in the rural part of the country. So that's kind of, it forces the banks to kind of put up the network across the country. And very interestingly, what happens is that when we are forced to set up a branch in a rural area, every bank is putting up those branches. It creates opportunities for jobs, and then we give credit facilities to promote local industries. They then create more jobs, and some of the locations that we reach out to, even the government could not really provide good facilities for water, roads, and some of the other infrastructure. But we do somehow create some of these, and then the community gets a lot more awareness. Media start covering some of these areas. Police departments, they do come and support us. And by doing that, it puts a back pressure or a reverse pressure on the entire government machinery to develop that area a lot more than what they would have done. And it's kind of a whole ecosystem starts just developing. So that's something which is very, very
So
important.
you're doing this work.
Yeah, we're already doing that. That's something which is very, very important for us. The second is, I think I would like to share an anecdote. Last month I was in JNK, Jammu and Kashmir, and if my fellow citizens would appreciate what it is, it's a very complex state, hugely complex in a sense that it's got terrorist attack, a lot of political pressure and whatnot, and therefore, and in fact, the day I had to travel, the previous day there was those bombing, the government building was attacked, if you may know, the so forth, the government building, there are terrorists which went inside, they kept a lot of hostages and all of that, and when I went inside the aircraft, I was really worried. But once I landed in the aircraft, and from then on, that whole experience of five days has been one of the most memorable experience for me. In a sense that I went there for an initiative called Udan, which is intended to hire people from that state and give them job outside the state so that they get imbibed into the culture of the whole country as a whole, and that's precisely which is unity in diversity. And we found some of the finest graduates to be hired.
Yes.
They did not have job, they were working in some shops, some local companies which were giving them salaries less than even 5,000 rupees. So I think, and we could actually hire some good 40 to 50 students, and who were so happy, so excited to really go out of the state and work in other parts of the country. And therefore, once they go, they actually, so to me, the creation of job itself is the best thing that you can do to create unity in diversity. Once you do that, once you create jobs, and all of us collectively, if we start creating jobs, I think what it does is that it reduces a whole lot of these nuances about several other things, and automatically the society improves.
And you change also the mindset.
Yeah, you change the mindset.
You change
And
the mindset.
these people who've been doing this for 3 years,
Yes.
and these people have gone back and spoken good about how the rest of the country is, and they go back and then they talk, and that's actually creates a cultural
And do
integration.
you have maybe new ideas?
Yeah, so the other thing is that that's my favorite passion, which is that customer centricity, and as a bank we actually go and educate our people, saying that how to really feel that empathy, the feel, put yourself in the shoes of the people on the other side. And I think my views, and to ma'am, is that the police department is doing a phenomenal job in the country, and thank you for that keeping us I think it could really help if we could give them little tips and nuances of that whole customer centricity. They actually do a great job, but on that given moment, and as they call it, as a moment of truth, with every interaction, how do I make it a delightful experience and still keep that whole risk management, all those ethics, everything intact? I think that is something which is a great opportunity, and we can work and in partnership in every sector to create citizens who are better citizens. They actually feel and put themselves in the shoes of the other person, not necessarily think everyone is a thief.
So
I think that's a one topic.
You're going to come on our unity, not our, I will be not here for sure, but my head, Akhil, and all of you will be here. You will participate.
Yeah, I'm happy to participate in that at my individual
You or
capacity.
maybe someone from your company, someone who will be responsible.
So
to
I
change
am
the
talking.
mindset.
I am talking as individual capacity, as I said. So I will cover.
This is exactly what we get everybody in each of these organizations. You can change the mindset. Those who take with the tax authority. This is also important.
Just one last point is that most people, and sir comes from a heavy industry. I have a manufacturing background as well. We do a lot of these initiatives called environmental protection, occupational health, and these were seen to be more as a manufacturing initiatives, but we have imbibed those in banking as well. We actually do take steps, and at a single point about digital and how it impacts, this whole mobile banking that we have, it reduces the need for paper in a significant way. I mean, you don't have to really fill in a long application form and make 20 photocopies, but you do it at a significantly lesser cost at a faster time, and that itself, that one initiative is a big one, and if you start counting it, it causes enormous amount of gain to the whole society in terms of green initiative.
Just 1 minute, and I will just one of the main tasks in this platform could be just idea to meet civil societies, with bankers, with business. Where are the money in this world? With the government and with business. Who is doing the social work? The NGOs. Very often NGOs have great ideas, but they don't know how to finance them. This could be a place where from bankers, where from people who are financial advisors, you can listen how to apply. Sharing with them your thoughts, they can help you with someone who is writing the paper. The same also how to apply for international financial institutions, the Asian Development Bank or the UN projects, how to apply them. This is very, very important work which can be done in the platform Unity Levels. Thank you.
I just wanted to share a point is that we underestimate India's civil service. We take a shot at them. But the question is that one of the unity in this diversity in this country is because of the Indian civil service. Your letters are delivered on time, you travel on time. We in media obviously do cover, not necessarily the best spots. But it's not that we in media do not appreciate their contributions. So put your hands together. I think we are very proud to have a great civil service. The second thing is that many cynics tell me that Indians, can generate 1,000 problems. But the average Indian is able to generate even 2,000 and millions of solutions. We should focus on the solutions and less on the problems. I think that's the second suggestion I would give. And finally, there's something that may surprise all of you. Being in media, we obviously have access to the powers that be, irrespective of rank and hierarchy, chief ministers, prime ministers, president. So one of the chief ministers of one of many Indian states said, tell me how can I get my state, Jammu and Kashmir, further integrated into this diverse Indian setup. So I sent her a position paper that we should start at grade 5 school, and possibly businesses should permit every year fund children from Jammu and Kashmir to visit Chennai. The Chennai school kids who are impressionable, class 8 to class 12, to visit Jammu Kashmir and we need this kind of physical visitation or exchange fellowships, not to Singapore, which I'm not against, or the US, but visiting fellowships within India from class 8 to class 12, that you are aware of the other culture, then you have an understanding of the other culture, then hopefully you become tolerant and then you celebrate your differences. And the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir is looking into this suggestion.
Thank you very much. And our platform will be the right place where you can find for such initiatives your partners. Someone who will, even you don't have a big grant for this, who will support you. From the, yes? Yes? Good job.
Very brief.
Yes.
I feel it's very appropriate that we have the three of you at this panel discussion today and to hear your views. And the reason, I want to explain a little why. I want us to explore today the possibilities of partnering with the banking sector in our process going forward working with communities. And I think one of the biggest obstacles for the banking sector and business sector is that communities in many cases are very disorganized and there's no very good organization. And what we're discussing here is bringing people from the community together in the community for ongoing dialogue. Meet each other, to understand each other, to address their needs and realize their needs together. Self-empowerment. For that to happen, it requires partners. And what we've taken on in Australia is working with police, with the local government, but really focusing on the actual community. So I wonder whether we can think about working with the banking sector or a bank in particular, since you're here already, as we go forward, when we identify some of the, any one or two, or, as you identify the communities, to actually sit with the community, with one of your representatives to discuss a longer term vision that you are meeting here today, but also know that we are interested in investing, we're interested in setting up, building up infrastructure, infrastructure for a stronger India, and we want you to know that we are your future potential partners. So if there is that possibility, I just wanted to bring that out on the table.
This is a great, thank you, Betsy. It's a great suggestion. Exactly this is what we're going to do in order to pack the big bag for Kanifa to the UNIOC forum. We're going now, with all your help,
Sorry,
to sit
Ilyana,
down.
for interrupting. Since Beche just mentioned this, I was wondering if the clarification would come from the banks, because each bank, if I understand correctly, also is associated with a particular cause. And the grants or the partnerships are usually through that. It might be a good idea if there is an explanation later on.
You can. This will be maybe a concrete. The next time when you meet Rahal, it's a concrete things which you can discuss with him here. But now, please, very important for us. However, you are in groups. We become a lot of people, but we would like to work for 10 minutes in a group for formulating. This was one formulation. This was one formulation. This is what we heard from our special guests. They formulate also concrete steps of this changing mindset. What can be done in the business in order to help civil society? And the result should be written. We will on each place we will give one of these paper. Write them down, please. And therefore, we want to hear them and give them to Hanifa. Thank you. Can you maybe, we will invite also you to work in one of the groups. Unfortunately, you should take also your chair. Because there are no chairs. So we organize now that in each group we have 10-15 minutes. In each group there will be one of these